Oh. This started.
You have to talk to something, right? You want to have more in the film. Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
Yo,
We back.
yeah. And today we are reviewing the highly anticipated which is now streaming on HBO Max and in theaters.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We just all about the fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Just the combats, the finishings.
For sure. I mean, we've seen a couple of mixed reviews all on social media. I mean, I just want to say one thing. Let's just all be happy that we finally got the movie that we wanted. Well, at least we got a movie that we wanted so damn long. Everybody wanted, you know, like, come on. People need to start acting like they weren't complaining about the old school, like, one from the 90s and 2000s.
Now, hold on now. That shit, the 90s and 2000s was good for their time.
For their time, yes, it was.
For their time, they was good. The second one, not so much. The second one, I could do without the second one. You know, the whole Highlander dude in it,
Yeah.
Raiden. But the fact that they did a movie now with the technology we have now,
I feel like it should be better.
Not that it should have been better. I feel like we could have made it a little bit longer. I feel like it could have been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And some more fights. A little more fights.
Mm-hmm. The whole movie in general is an hour and 56 minutes, and that's with the credits involved. You know, which even when I told someone that before, they was like, "Yo, only an hour and 50-something minutes." I'm like, I mean, hey,
it's light on us.
Oh, we bright.
So yeah. So what you think of the movie though? Honest opinions.
So for overall, just after watching the movie, I felt like this was like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like it could have been longer. Because when I saw that it was like an hour and 50-something minutes, I'm like, wait a second.
That's not enough.
Like,
I mean, it could be enough. It's not enough.
I mean, if they do it right, it could be enough. Because I mean, I was saying the same thing about Kong and Godzilla.
Felt the same way.
But
not enough.
After watching the movie,
still wasn't enough for me.
I mean, for me, it's like, okay, they laid it out perfectly for it to be that short of a film.
Right.
But,
oh, sugar honey iced tea. I'll fix it.
Sure. But for this kind of movie and for the story, like, they could have added a little bit more story. Definitely more fights.
I will say this though. They ran into the same problem with Godzilla versus Kong, which is there's a lot of fillers. A lot of fillers that they just were like, I guess I needed that part of the detail.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that, and I feel like they could have just filled it with like another scene that would have made like tie the story into like not tie the story in, but give you an arc. You know what I'm saying? Like give you
an actual story arc,
to pull off of, so you can be like, oh, this could be maybe a part 2 or part 3 from this one scene.
I mean, from what we've seen so far, like we definitely know that there's a part 2 coming.
Mm-hmm.
We know this isn't going to be the end.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if it was, then I would definitely say this movie was trash. But since I know that there's going to be a part 2 for this movie, I feel like this is a great introductory in the film.
Yeah.
For all Mortal Kombat fans, this is a great introductory film. You get the whole, history behind Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I feel like they laid that part out of the story perfectly.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Which is
the whole beef between Scorpion and Sub-Zero was played out perfectly in this film. Which is
why I'm a little annoyed. Like, I wanted more of the beef. Like not more of the beef, but like why did Sub-Zero pull up on Scorpion and just ruin a good Saturday?
I mean, but honestly,
you ruined a really good Saturday.
But if you're really thinking about it, any Mortal Kombat fan, we all know why. Anyone who has like played the games from the beginning, even if you haven't played the games from the beginning, if you play Mortal Kombat 9, you know exactly the story.
Yeah, this is true.
I think this film is not for people who are just getting into Mortal Kombat. This is for the fans who know the story, who know the story between Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
But being for the people who don't know, I mean, I'm not going to say. Like, Mortal Kombat is like an era of gaming that like I generate
that's changed. It changed a lot when it came to gaming. It changed a lot.
Yeah, like so.
Especially when it comes to violence in games and everything, it changed a lot. It had a whole court trial.
Right. No, yeah. I'm just saying,
people were ready to ban this game.
I don't see people retired because they had PTSD. That's how bad this game got. PTSD, like military people couldn't be at home. But my issue was that like in the first two Mortal Kombats in the story, like it was a story about the actual tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In this one, it's a story about the betrayal but the undermines of Scorpion and whatnot, and how the tournament is brought about because of them two, or something like that. Like Hanzo's blood can't reach it. So I'm not gonna go and just play the games or watch the movie, either way. But I'm saying is like the way they went about the story arc, I would want more focus
on the tournament.
Either or, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna do focus about Scorpion and Sub-Zero's life and why they got beef,
then they need
focus on that.
They need to not have the tournament.
Right.
Have this,
like have it be like origin of like Mortal Kombat still, because that's still origin.
Because they're a big part of the origin.
Right. So that's where the only downside and where I'll give it a negative. It was just like and then they never get to the tournament. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole beef about Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and you never get to the tournament. It's like, what was even the point of watching it? Mm-hmm. I don't know. That was my only, like, if we're going to talk about the story,
we're going to be very nitpicky about it.
You know? It just didn't seem as if, like, they knew which direction to go.
Yeah.
Like the main...
Because honestly, like, you can, with all these characters, you can really...
Yeah.
I think that's probably the difficulty, like, just kind of piggybacking off a story. This is kind of the real difficulty about, these kind of like fighting games and making the movies. Like, you got so many different backstories for every character. You got the whole beef between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. You got the whole beef between Sonya Blade and Kano. You have, the story with, Jack Briggs and everybody.
Raiden's beef.
Just Raiden being a thunder god.
Yeah.
You got the whole even the backstory between Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
And then you get the Outer Worlds. Then you leave the planet, you go to Outer Worlds, and you got Kong, and then like half the other people.
We didn't even see Kong in this movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Which I'm hoping we'll see in the next movie, because if anyone who's seen this movie, you definitely they basically leave it off saying, basically giving it away that there's going to be a second movie, and that Johnny Cage is going to be in it.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like that was your one scene that was like, maybe you can go this way. So they could have put something when they were in the Outer Worlds. They could have dropped like a scene there that could have been like, oh, maybe they go to Outer Worlds and handle shit in Outer Worlds like they did in Mortal Kombat 10. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There was way more. You could have given way more scenes of lore to the movie, and then cut back on the cheesiness. Flawless, Victor. Come on.
What? Come on now.
Yeah,
I feel like that part. I feel like that's one of my favorite ones, and not just because Kung Lao is one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat, one of the characters I always use every time I play a game. But man, literally does the whole spinning thing with his hat, the fatality.
Yeah.
It was a flawless victory. She didn't even touch him. So
I
of
give you
course
that.
he's gonna say flawless victory. Come on, man. Like I feel like that scene was one of those scenes that made me go, okay, I fucks with it. Like, but then it pissed me off when when he gets his fucking soul sucked out of him. I'm like,
easy,
too easy. I'm like, Liu Kang could have done something, or at least allowed him to do something. Like, come on now.
I was saying, they made these dudes strong as hell. My man teleported in clean. Remember when he shows up?
Mm-hmm.
Teleports in with a hat trick, and he'll
start fucking people up.
I don't know that. I just feel like they did a good movie with the special effects, picking up the characters.
I mean,
the story arc with Kano, excellent. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I feel like with Kano is like. Yeah, most definitely. I mean,
make Kano.
So when it comes to, we get with the story, like it was too many story arcs to really focus on one, to have a main focus be on one. You know, so and with this whole thing being more of an introductory film, it did feel like there were some things just left out.
Right.
You know, but I will say, you know, for what it is, you know, for it being a very great, I feel like it's a great prequel. But as far as a standalone movie, not too much. As a prequel, I feel like it's good.
Really?
As a prequel to what's coming next.
What was saying? What is next? Is it more beef about Sub-Zero, or is it more beef about
Sub-Zero's fucking dead? So
or no, he seems saying that's what I'm saying. Like they confused me because that's how you get Cyborg Sub-Zero next scene. Because you see the smoke comes around and gets yeeted away by
the sorcerer.
Yeah, sorcerer. Him and Grog, whatever, the forearm dude, Goro. So like a couple people get taken back, and I get turned into like your cyborgs and smoke.
That should be something if they take Sub-Zero and they make them like the cyborg Sub-Zero.
Right. That's where I think we'll go, because if Sub-Zero is dead now, the only way to do it is to do that, and then what? It's the tournament then, right? Because you can't. I'm sorry.
The next movie, you have to have the tournament.
Yeah, you can't continue the beef. It's still a beef about Sub-Zero. I'd be like, my man, let it die, bro. Y'all each got one on each other. Mm-hmm. You killed one. He killed you.
Now y'all in the afterlife and shit. Like, I feel like this is not the last we're gonna see of Sub-Zero. I mean, not Sub-Zero. Scorpion.
Right.
This is not gonna be the last time we see him. He just leaves. He's like, all right.
Where do you go? That's my question.
Back to hell.
Why? You broke out of hell.
Probably back to hell. Yep.
There were so many questions, but the story of itself.
The story left a lot of questions that need to be answered. Hopefully, in the next film they'll answer them.
Maybe. But I'm gonna go ahead and address the fight, the fighting, which was good to a point. Okay. It's good to a point. I will say, like, if you was playing this game and you was watching the fighting, you're basically an amateur playing the game, because everyone kept spam butting the same moves. Scorpion did it. Oh, what? Scorpion did come here like 38 times. Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's he did the whole come over here once, and then
he said it once, but he fired them shits off like 38 times and just yeeting people left and right. So I'll give you the spam of the buttons. Kung Lao 2.
I mean, Kung Lao, he did.
That was a gimmick. I think that was a gimmick. The leg sweep. I think that was a gimmick. It was
just a fun. Yeah, it was. I think that was like a whole like gimmick, much of like okay. Then Kano's like, is that the only thing you know how to do?
Right.
Like, oh god, bam.
They're making fun. I think they're making fun of the controls.
Making fun of like that, but then also the fact that like, hey, yeah, I can spam, but you're not doing shit.
Right.
I'm still kicking your ass.
And then addressing Kano. He's like and Kano and Jax are the only good fighters to me, in my opinion.
Come on.
I mean, I'll give you.
I mean, they were one. I mean, I like this.
I'll give Sonya that too.
Sonya wasn't chosen until she killed Kano.
She had that training she got from the US.
Yes,
put it to work.
She was kicking his ass like before.
Right.
She had to kill him.
Which then
she could have killed him too.
She did kill him.
No, I'm saying she could have killed him early.
Oh yeah.
Early in the film, she could have killed him.
I don't know what she did. She would have gotten the mark. And then I don't know if I should give away. Well, the movie been out.
Yeah.
The plot line of this too that bugged me the most was Sonya Blade's story in the movie.
What, because the fact that she wasn't marked?
It wasn't the fact of that. It was the fact that like she was like using her military training and like her status almost to a degree, or skills pretty much, to just be obsessed about this fighting tournament just to get in it. You know what I'm saying? Like after a while, you throughout the movie you realize this bitch don't care about the people who got this dragon mark. She just wants one. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of took.
I mean, now according to the movie, and everything, like with her like and Jax, we're on some tour. The whole platoon got fucked up.
Right.
So that's probably one reason why she's obsessed with it. She's like, okay, we got to see, like, what are these people who took out all our people? We need to end this
Facts. Shit. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I'm with you. I agree with you. I'm 100% on your side of this.
I'm just saying, that's probably why she's so obsessed.
I got that part, right? And then, it got to the point, there's a scene where you see her shed, her spider's web, and like marking the dots, newspaper clippings of like all the marks and everything like that. And that's when I realized that what are you doing? That's an obsession. Here's the logic, right? You're using your
that's investigating.
No. You're a trained investigator.
The FBI does that shit all the time. That's investigating.
FBI's, first of all, in the scene, that shit was all over the place. It looked like a crazy person who just knows the pattern. And in FBI's, they got them like spots and squares and subject. There's lines that have words on them and shit. You got the. Am I wrong?
It's the same thing. No, it's ultimately the same thing.
Shit blanket the whole damn wall, right? It blanketed a whole barn wall. Not even like a regular human wall. It was a human wall house. A barn-sized wall. She had the shit blanketed with tech and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, not tech, but just newspaper clippings all over the place, looking for people with dragon tattoos, trying to save them, because she's finding out they're getting killed. Yeah. Right? Great.
I saw that Nightwolf had kind of a cameo in it.
Yeah. Nightwolf, and then Cabal.
Cabal. Yo, I'm so glad that some of my favorite characters got into it.
Yeah.
Like, Kung Lao's my favorite. I'm glad that he got to show his shit.
Yeah,
he was low-key one of the best fighters on that whole team.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Low-key.
He is legitimately, he is the best fighter, but they didn't prove it. Like, he still lost his best friend and got
his fucking soul sucked out of him.
Yeah, like, I feel bad.
Like, I was like, come on now.
You know, he's like, yo, they got flying hats.
Like, he could have easily just been like, yo,
yeah,
or teleported.
That's my point. Like, the man is
that was like that kind of upset me a bit, but I'm like, you know what? Let's see what happens here. You know.
Yeah.
Because it might be the same thing they did with Mortal Kombat 10 when they come back and they're like just demonized and shit.
Yeah, like the possessed. They're all possessed or something.
Like Outworld.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? They could have set that up if they'd done an Outworld scene where like
I do feel like they should have like done. They should have like showed Outworld a little bit more.
Yeah.
They could have like. That's how like you make this a little bit more of a longer film. You show us Outworld a little bit more.
You gotta not even to show us Outworld a little more. Show us the what's going on during the tournaments in the two worlds. You know,
this is all before the tournament, but you know, to show what's going on leading to the tournament.
But in the two worlds, like show one world where you're like, oh, this is what's happening here. They're arming forces, setting up plans, and then you go to our world. You know, but I get what you're saying. But like, at least 2 worlds.
Yeah.
So you can have more detail and know the backstory. And
I just feel like they were doing this one for the fans, for like the hardcore fans. You know,
the fatalities were great.
Yeah.
Fatalities were great.
But
I
as far as character, as far as the fighting goes, I feel like should have been more fight scenes. Should have been able to at least show like a little bit more of their skills.
Yeah.
You know, and like I understand the whole rule with Raiden that he could not get involved, but like legit, could he at least got into one fight?
Facts. Especially when your man just took the soul out your boy, and
one fight.
He ain't supposed to interfere with the world. And
well, technically, he's a sorcerer. He's not a god.
He's not a god, so he can't.
The only elder god in this movie right now is Raiden. So I kind of understand that.
Wasn't Melina?
No, Melina's not a god. Melina's just a demon.
Oh.
Yeah. So the only elder god is Raiden in this movie, and he can't get involved before the tournament.
But during the tournament, he's gonna be whopping them hands.
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm hoping them hands.
I'm hoping we see like all that. Like,
now, how'd you feel about the fight with Reptile? Because that's my biggest mixed review.
Your biggest mixed review?
Yeah, because like I like Reptile as a fighter.
I do like Reptile's character and everything. I was low key excited. I'm like, no, when he said, "Oh, bring the reptile," I'm like, "Is that Reptile?" Like, wait,
I was expecting. Is that Reptile? You expecting the suit? Were you expecting the suit or what? This lizard that we got? Because the lizard, I ain't gonna hold you. The lizard was hard.
Lizard was hard. Lizard was fucking shit up.
And yeah, he was throwing them hands and he had the mouth though, the acid. I ain't gonna clout. You man, no cap. You man was good.
I feel like they were trying to make you more realistic.
That's what I'm feeling.
Like the whole realistic, like, or maybe that's not even Reptile. That's just one of them. That's just one of them. And then we're gonna see Reptile in the second one.
They better pull it together because we're gonna have.
Because yeah, he didn't have a suit, but I mean, like, he's a reptile. He's just literally a lizard.
I know. That's what it's like when you fight him in Mortal Kombat. Who you fight?
He's like a half man, half lizard. I understand that, but it's like
that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Y'all fix Sonic.
I mean, he had.
Y'all fix Sonic.
That's because they showed. That's because they showed us Sonic.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
They showed us. They showed us nothing about
They showed us
about Reptile. Nothing
until we watch the movie. Now, next movie, Reptile ain't dead. Y'all bring us back. Y'all readdress how y'all did that.
I'm saying that might not be Reptile, so we might end up getting Reptile in the next movie. But I mean, yeah, but the whole fight with Reptile, I mean, with him mainly using invisibility, it's like, okay, you gotta do it, like the whole flare and everything.
Yeah, that was cap.
Yeah,
that was cap.
Flare. I mean, he had the knife and the flare, so it's like you already gonna see him run. But dog, the way it just showed how hardcore Kano was. Cause like, yo, man, just regular fucking person, just like,
he was just fucking hard. Was he regular then?
Yeah, he was just regular.
Yeah,
he was just a badass.
Yeah, he was just regular.
He was just a badass arms dealer.
He didn't have his eye. He didn't have a laser eye.
He had the laser eye before that. Yeah. So like you ripping out people's hearts before you get your power. Yeah,
he did. He had laser eye.
No, he didn't have laser eye before, like during the fight with Reptile.
With the Reptile.
He didn't have the. He didn't. No,
I thought he did.
No, he didn't. He got the laser eye when he was arguing with Kung Lao.
Oh yeah. This is the scene where all her crazy papers burned up. Right. Yeah, crazy girl's papers caught on fire. just yeah.
So I mean, like the characters that we've gotten so far, I'm somewhat satisfied with them. But I mean, it's like
I just want.
You could have showed us more of like the reptilian world. How they got, they're like how they came.
This credit here though, this scene, this fight scene was probably and story arc of what happened to Jack.
Of how Jack got his arms.
The best for me, like even better than like when Mortal Kombat Annihilation did it. And you just find him on a table. Now they were doing experiments on him or something. I was like, nah, that's not cool.
Or do you feel like it's better with
It's better
when
this
in
way.
the MK9 in the game?
Yeah. Like or this. I feel like this way is the best way so far because they did explain like
How he lost his arm.
how he lost his arms during the fight.
Because during Mortal Kombat 9, did he lose his arm? Like, I don't think it was. I think it was someone chopped him.
Yeah, it was a similar thing. Like he tried saving somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got his
arms chopped off. But nonetheless, I like.
And it's like that, and I'm just wondering, like, so I'm thinking, like, if he didn't have his arms chopped off, his whole like power would have been super strength anyway.
Right.
Because like his arms didn't even work until he was like trying to save Sonya, and it's like, yo, I don't know. It's like
you could have, man, still mad about Kung Lao, bro. He could have cut your man's hand off with the hat.
For real.
I just don't get it.
I am not gonna lie, I am impressed with Melina. I'm impressed with the character of Melina. I wish we would have got more from her.
Yeah, bro. The fight
or at least have like an extra fight scene with her to really show. Like, I wanted to see her eat someone's face.
That was the thing. Yeah, like a lot of the. I feel like
you didn't really see all her teeth until the last moment, right before Sonya Blade kills her. So I'm like, come on.
I feel like a lot of the characters that they showed never got their shine of what their
abilities are.
Yeah,
and it's like we know their abilities when we play the game.
And so like, showing them, you're just like, oh look, it's Melina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she just got the sights. You're just like, oh, she ain't gonna bite nobody's head.
Yeah.
Or when
it does kind of. I don't know if this is when they were in the temple, but it did kind of like have a cameo of Katana or Katina like with her fans. Like you see like in one of the scenes, like you see her fans and shit. So I'm guessing this is after the whole like they basically cloned Katana and made Melina.
Is it Mortal Kombat 9 where the medallion comes into play?
The medallion? I think that's Mortal Kombat. No, Mortal Kombat X is when the medallion comes to play.
The medallion's the next one.
Yeah, because I remember the whole thing when Kano took it, and then Kano was just like, "And you put that back." I'm like,
got him.
I'm like, oh, but then when I saw the medallion, I'm like, oh shit, like they really going on. Like, okay.
And then I will say this though, for the amount of work they put in, the CGI is good for now. But with the advances of how this is going, what do you think? Do you think the CGI will hold up?
I mean, they definitely. I mean, the one thing I like about the CGI is that they did Goro justice.
Yeah.
It wasn't just some person with clay arms like the original movie. Like and when he gets kicked in the nuts, he's like, oh my god, like bro. This was an actual, like, I mean, for Goro, of course, you gotta use CGI. So, I mean, to have, like, I'm waiting for it to come up again. I mean,
you can't,
like, you can't nitpick with Goro because I mean, at least we have a realistic looking Goro.
Yeah,
you know. So
and Reptilian. I'm gonna say even when they did Reptile, he was good. This dragon.
Like, look
at that. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't complain about that.
The CGI in this is. I'm glad they did a new Mortal Kombat now instead of like 4 years ago or 3 or like 5 years ago because we'd have been just as disappointed. Then.
So I mean, most definitely like CG, like everything with CG, like all the CGI and everything, all the effects, it brings the story together. It really brings out the story
of Mortal Kombat. Yeah. It truly made Mortal Kombat Mortal Kombat. Mm-hmm. That's what I will say. That the CGI effects, the fatalities and all that, the Kano Heart, look at that. Yeah. Like you to pull it off, it was lovely. Masterpiece.
Extremely. So I mean I can't really complain about that at all. I mean I really can't.
So we're gonna give ourselves a legislative review on this. I'm gonna do 3.5
So are we? So we doing our final
Yeah.
our final review?
Overall
review. So
I'm gonna do
just our final rating of this film. Are you gonna do like out of stars or just?
I'm gonna do out of lunch boxes. 5 lunch boxes.
Alright.
5 being the most. But I'm gonna give it 3.5 lunch boxes.
3.5.
3.5 lunch boxes. Because it was. Don't get me wrong. It's good, but it's not rewatchable. Once you watch it once or twice, you kind of
I kind of want to disagree with you. I mean,
you don't want you watch it again.
Probably one more time.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, shoot, like the other.
See what I'm saying? Like
I feel like with certain scenes you would want to watch again. Like for the fighting scenes, I would watch it again.
Right.
For a lot of the fighting scenes, I would definitely watch it again. You know, for the story, no.
Exactly my point.
Like I feel like story could have been better, could have been longer. Like the fighting scene and special effects are really what brings it out. Some of the characters really carry the film.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting for Raiden to be this much of an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ. In the beginning, I'm like, he's like, you guys are worthless. Like, damn, you supposed to be helping this.
Nah, he was, but he always was a bit of a dick, though. He always was a bit of a dick.
But I mean, damn. Like,
but not that bad. Yeah, he was a bit.
Like, we all know you're a god and shit, but damn, you want to help. You want to help Earth so much.
Here's the reason.
I will want. This is one thing I will want to think about.
Yeah.
When it comes to this new character, I don't know if he's was such a playable character at all, but like the guy who's supposed to have basically the blood of Scorpion, who's part of Scorpion's bloodline.
Yeah, he's a character with the whips in the game.
Mm-hmm. Character with the whips.
Yeah, he's that character with the whips in the game. Which is again, you see what I'm saying? Never use the whips. You feel me? Like,
I mean, it's like he just made. It seemed like he just made weapons out of everything.
That's
and it looked like he just had. It was like a freaking bootleg version of the Black Panther suit.
In a way,
like,
it is. In a way,
taking so much pain. Just I'm like, what? Like I know they. I'm like, come on, man.
But no, like the reason for the review for me, and I agree with you too. But like my thing is like, for nostalgic purposes, you go back to watch the movie of Mortal Kombat, right? You can still sit through the first Mortal Kombat story. I'm not saying the graphics.
Of course not the graphics.
Of course not the graphics, but you can at least sit through.
At least they gave the tournament.
Yeah, you at least go like, what's we watching? We're watching them pick up the fighters, get the fighters, pull up to the tournament, win the tournament, everyone goes home. So like in terms of a movie that like you can watch back again, nostalgic value, this one doesn't hit for me. For me, like 10 years later, I'm gonna go back and watch this Mortal Kombat. Well, 10 years later, I will most likely
watch the one from the 90s.
Watch the one from the 90s, just because like the story of it hit. Like now here's how this here's the thing.
I will go back for the fighting scenes and the brutal.
That's what I'm saying. I would go back for that.
Like there are definitely reasons why I will watch this again.
But you have to like add more to this. You know what I'm saying?
Like I feel like if they do a second film,
then you can go back. Yeah, can't go back.
Which I mean, I feel like it has to be a second film to this because I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
You can't leave us with a cliffhanger like this.
And then think about how long they left us with the Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It was like 7 years, almost 8 years between the two Mortal Kombats, and like at least that storyline was okay. It was just weird dialogue at times, but if they wait too long or if they do it too soon, you can botch the whole thing.
You could really mess up the franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like a game's gonna come out? Well, I don't feel like another game's gonna come before another movie. Because I mean, Mortal Kombat 11 came out like probably 2-3 years, like about a year or two ago, and it's still holding up.
And that's the other.
And plus they added a new story to the Mortal Kombat 11, so that game's gonna hold up for a long time.
And that's the other thing too. Like with the amount of games they brought out, you had plenty of story content and arcs you could have pulled from.
Yeah, but like I was saying before, like just with all that story, you can't put all that story in a 2.5 hour film.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like as this being the intro,
newest installment,
the newest
for
installment,
like Mortal Kombat
the
film.
beginning of it, you're now obligated to go off the movies you've done because like the movies like I had like probably a solid 2 hour break the other day, and I was watching the Mortal Kombat 11 movie clips on YouTube, and the clips hit harder than some of the movies, all the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like just a video game story.
I mean, with the video game, they always tie up all the story within their video games. Because I feel like with the Mortal Kombat 11 story, they tied that up with Mortal Kombat 9. Mortal Kombat 9 was the whole beginning of like just restarting the whole thing from the beginning, from the first tournament and everything else, and from Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, the story for those three all together just been solid.
Exactly.
And I feel like if they kind of manipulate that with this,
we
can have a solid franchise with this. So I'm giving this hope, but I would say for my review, based off the fact that story wasn't too well done, nostalgic reasons, I'm giving it hope for the next one, and the fact that they're basically telling us, hey, we're giving y'all another film. Be patient. We're giving y'all another film, and we're hoping that it's gonna be good.
They're talking about Ryan Reynolds for Johnny Cage.
That would be funny. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like with Ryan Reynolds,
it'd be played out now. I'm not saying he's played out, but it'd just be like
I mean, he has the charismatic, and funny and it has to be someone funny, someone very charismatic and funny.
But I just don't think
play Johnny Cage.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds is that, but he could do it. I can see him doing it. I feel like he's just so typecast.
Typecast is real, just goofy, funny.
Yeah, that does karate and fight.
I mean, when you play a character like Deadpool, twice and soon to be 3 times, and you play him well.
And then you did The Bodyguard. And then you did Magnificent Seven or something like that, whatever it is. They're just Ryan Reynolds movies. They all become the same. Like he can play the role. It's just I feel bad that it's
typecast. I also feel like he'll probably take away from
that.
He'll probably take away from the whole film. Everybody be focused on Ryan Reynolds, so I feel like it'll have to be you have to find an actor who can be charismatic and funny, and kick ass. But you also have to have a character who we're not going to lose focus on the whole story, just focusing on him. But for me, if I was to give this movie its rating, honestly, I would agree with you and give it a 3.5 lunchboxes.
Yeah.
Mainly because it could have been longer, even if it's a prequel. I've seen prequels that are long too. It could have been longer. Story arcs could have been more well put together. The action scenes and the nostalgia is really what gives me hope about it. The fact that they're showing us that they're going to give us a second movie, and the character of Melina and Kunlao, how well done their characters were, is really what is okay. I'm not going to shit on this movie, but they could have done better. So yeah, 3.5.
3.5 lunchboxes. That's what we give this. That's what we give this one. I mean, yeah. I'm excited for the next.
I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well,
yep.
We're gonna keep looking at some more stuff, find more reviews. We're gonna review what's the name? The Black Samurai anime.
Yeah, once we finish watching that, we definitely gotta review movie.
I don't know the name.
Yasuke.
Mm-hmm. Yasuke.
We definitely gonna review Yasuke. And so yeah, next up for our next review, we are definitely reviewing Yasuke. And I mean, hey, if you guys got anything else that y'all want us to review, y'all want us to check out,
this is what we're on next.
Yeah, and we've already watched a little bit of it, and we're telling you this is something that you guys need to check out. It is gas.
gas. You want Mortal Kombat feeling? This will give you Mortal Kombat feeling. You want to see niggas get
like, I would definitely tell you that, you know, that Lakeith Stanfield does an amazing job in this. Right?
Yeah. There is just a bunch of death. Just a bunch of death. And great and excellent dialogue. For sure.
But yeah, you know, that's our time right now. You know, check, you know, be here to check out our next review. And, you know, next week we're going to give you another episode of The Good, The Bad, and What the So, hey, just keep rocking with us, you know? We doing things, man.
Later.
Peace.